to the podcast. I'm Jo, your host, and today I want to talk about how you can hit your protein and calorie goals even when you're on the go, when you're out travelling, when you're out and about at the weekend. Now, I know weekends or travel days can make it tricky to grab a healthy meal on the go, whether that's breakfast, lunch or dinner, but it's entirely possible with a little bit of planning and a little bit of knowledge. You absolutely can stay on track. So just the other day, I found myself at a local retail park, much like many of you might over this coming weekend. And I popped into Costa for a quick lunch. It was a bit of a spontaneous decision. I ended up grabbing a chicken flatbread, but I noticed that although it was good on protein, it could be better. And there was no vegetables in there. It was just really chicken and carbs. So I popped next door and I grabbed an apple and a small protein bar from, it just happened to be Home Bargains because that was what was on the retail park. And actually it made for a pretty good meal on the fly. It came in at just over 500 calories. It had about 28 grams of protein and it ticked off one of my 5 a day. So it is possible. And what I want to do today is go through some of the main coffee shops, takeaway outlets that you'll find in the high street, at the retail park, at the service stations in the UK, and talk through things that you can look out for and help you home in on those better choices when you're in those situations. Now, the most important thing I think that you should be looking at if you're on a weight loss diet, and obviously aside from calories, you need to make sure you've got enough protein within the meal that you're looking at. So I'm sure you've heard me explain many times before, protein is crucial for maintaining your muscle mass. It's especially important as we get older. Anyone over the age of 30 really should be focusing on making sure they get enough protein in their diet. And it is even more important if you're dieting. In addition to the benefits related to holding on and building some muscle mass, protein helps keep you feeling fuller for longer. And that's great for weight management. It's great when you're out and about. So aiming for meals that have approximately 500 calories and about 25 to 30 grams of protein in them, that can really help you stay on track with your fitness and nutrition goals. So let's look at some tips I've got for you to help you when you're out and about. Whether it's the road trips, the days out that you may be having over the summer, maybe a trip to the seaside. The first thing I'd say to you is always check the labels. Knowing what you're eating is really important. So get into the habit of when you pick up a sandwich, when you pick up a snack, look at that nutritional information on the pack, or if you know roughly what you might be homing in on, if you can do it online, if you've got an app on your phone while you're in the shop. If you know what you're eating, you're already one step ahead. You should be looking for those protein-rich options. And the good news is there are loads of supermarkets, cafes, and fast food outlets that now offer high-protein choices. They've spotted the trend. They know it gets people homing in on it. And so actually there are some good options that are labelled as high-protein snacks and meals. What I would say to you, though, is please always check the labels, because the tag high protein, it isn't regulated. So there doesn't actually have to be a particularly good level of protein in that food item to have that tag on it. So don't get conned. As an example, I mentioned I popped into Home Bargains and I picked up a small protein bar, sort of one of the half-size ones, I call them. Generally, you can find them for about 100 calories. And you know what? There were plenty of options in the store. Unfortunately, loads of them had about 3 grams of protein in them, and that's not a lot. Some, though, had 10 grams in them for exactly the same calorie count. So 100 calories or 99 calories, and you could either have a bar that had 3 grams of protein or one that had 10 grams of protein. So go for the one, obviously, that's got the higher protein level, more bang for your buck. If you've got the calorie allowance during the day, the sort of what I call the normal size bars, the full size bars, you should be looking for one that's about 200 calories, there or thereabout, and it really should have 18 to 20 grams of protein in it. for it to count as a protein bar. So be aware, all of the snacks and bars that you see are not equal. Please read those labels. And one thing I will share is when I was in Home Bargains, and it's not just them, I think it's in all the shops, anything that's in a bar that says it's a diet bar or it's a 99 cal snack, those are the ones that tended to have the lowest protein levels. So it is really important to check those labels. I think the one I picked up certainly hadn't got diet on, and I had to really put my reading glasses on to see that actually only had about 100 calories in it. So it is important to check the labels. What do you look for if you're going into a coffee shop, a cafe, or a takeaway? I can't cover all of the outlets that are available, but I'm sure if you've been into any, you know that a lot of them are much of a muchness in terms of the offerings they have. I'm going to talk about Costa because that's where I went to most recently. And they in particular have got some good options around their chicken flatbreads that are actually reasonably high in protein. And those are about 400 to 500 calories and maybe sort of 25 grams, some a little bit higher in protein. Costa have also got protein pots, and those tend to be like a boiled egg with spinach, chicken, avocado, something like that. And those protein pots are really good for a boost on the go. The other thing to look out for, if you're looking for either a breakfast or a snack, is Greek yogurt with granola. Those are between 200 and 300 calories. Again, they're sort of about 10 grams of protein. You can pair those with a small protein bar for an extra boost. And like I mentioned, you can carry these with you. I haven't seen protein bars available in Costa, but you can carry them with you. Pre-order them from the supermarket, pick them up when you're out and about. A little bit of prep, if you're in a supermarket or you see Home Bargains or similar, pick some up and carry them with you when you know you're going to be having a day out and about. So Starbucks, similar to Costa, they've also got protein boxes. I think they've got a chicken and hummus box. They've also got egg white and red pepper, egg bites. A couple of those would be quite a filling meal. Turkey sandwiches. Marks and Spencer's is another great stop. Look for their Balanced for You range or their fuller, longer range. In that one, I think they've got things like chicken and quinoa salad or prawn and noodle salad. The sandwich cabinet, the sandwich chiller at Marks and Spencer's actually tends to have an enormous amount of salads in it, sort of prepared salads, and I really love those. So those would be my go-to for a quick, healthy, nutritious meal on the go that's actually got quite good protein content. If you're in a fast food outlet, such as McDonald's, look at things like their grilled chicken salad with a low-calorie dressing, maybe an Egg McMuffin. That's about 300 calories, about 17 grams of protein. They've also got a grilled chicken wrap, which is an okay option. That's about 360 calories, 26 grams of protein. I visit the Golden Arches probably only a couple of times a year, normally if we're on a road trip on the way back from somewhere, and it's just taken longer than we thought. My standard order is 3 chicken selects and small fries. It comes in at just under 600 calories and 27 grams of protein. Now, clearly, that is not the healthiest choice that's available. There are better options. But for me, it's an occasional indulgence, and it's all about balance. If you need a hit of fries, 3 chicken selects and small fries, try and work it into your day. If you know what you're walking into, you know what you're signing up to, you can work with that knowledge. The other one to think about is Subway. Obviously, it's sandwiches, 6-inch turkey breast sub, lots of vegetables, maybe go for double meat to hit the protein target. Think about that as an option. They've also got a chicken Caesar wrap. It's about 430 calories and 30 grams of protein. So that's another one to look at. So like I said, you could get the protein count up on your meal. You could use protein bars from places like Home Bargains, supermarkets, loads of the petrol filling stations, the service stations these days, where you're quite likely to stop. They're all run by the supermarket. You have got options there more than you would have done 10, 20 years ago. I would say though, as I said, be mindful of the protein content in those protein bars. Some of the bars are really low and effectively they're just a chocolate bar. So just be conscious of that. Other options, remember I mentioned Greek yogurt. That's a good solid choice. Small pot, typically about 100 calories, 10 grams of protein. Pair it up with some fruit or nuts. Balanced snack there. So in terms of practical tips, try and plan ahead. Look up the nutritional information for the places you are likely to visit. Get an idea in your head of what it is that you're looking for. Most of the major chains have got all of their nutritional information of their current lines in their apps. And of course, if you walk into a store ad hoc, anything that's pre-packed is going to have those nutritional labels on them. So read them. Finally, remember to stay hydrated. When you're on the road, when you're traveling, when we have the warmer weather, thirst can often be mistaken for hunger. You can start to feel a dip in your energy levels, and you might mistake that for hunger. So make sure you're drinking enough water through the day, and think about carrying a water bottle with you, popping one in the car before you go. And the final thing I would say in terms of tips is try and carry some cutlery with you. If you've got some cutlery in your bag, in your car, in the glove compartment that you can pull out, it just gives you a few more options. Rather than going for things that you can eat with your hands, you can, if you're stopping at a retail park, for example, or you've pulled into a supermarket to get some fuel for your journey, you can go down the chiller aisle. You can get some salad and a packet of cold meat, and you can tip one into the other, and you can eat on the go, have a pretty healthy meal. You just need some knives and forks or a spoon to crack on with it. So to sum up, eating well on the go, it can be tricky. There are loads of quick grab, easy options there. Those flipping grab bags of crisps that are like about 4 packets of crisps in one that you see in service stations, they drive me nuts. So quite often I sort of think, I'll have a little treat of a crisp packet. And you sort of think, there's literally a family pack of crisps in there. I really, really should not open those because it will be empty. There are loads of temptations. So a little bit of planning, a little bit of knowledge, knowing you can make some choices that align with your goals. So next time you're out and about, you're on a road trip, you're on a day trip, look out for those high protein, relatively low calorie options to keep you on track, and let me know how it goes. And of course, if you've got other options that you know about at some other chains, drop them in the comments, let me know. I'd love to share them. It's always good to find some good options to bear in mind. That's it for today's episode. Until next time, try and keep making those healthy choices, stay focused on your goals, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.